Hello, happy 2020-2021 school year at Saguaro High School. My name is Sienna Gomez, and I will be your child's LRC teacher case manager. I actually recorded a video and it went 20 minutes, so I had to re-record. So I'm going to move through this swiftly, and please know that you can always get in touch with me via email is the best and easiest way, and then we can set up a time to talk if you need to talk via phone. I really look forward to meeting my new families, new students this year, as well as having the same students I've had for the past few years. This is definitely going to be a new, interesting year for all of us, with some challenges for sure, but as long as communication lines are open and we are willing to, be flexible and learn and grow, I know that it'll be a positive year. I hope to see you all in person soon when it's safe, and we will start virtually and things will be great. So do let me know at any time if you have questions. I'm going to share my PowerPoint presentation and kind of swiftly go through that. Again, anytime there's a question, please let me know. So this right here on this first screen is the study strategies class, either periods 1 or 2 that your child has with me. My name is Sienna Gomez. My contact information, that phone line obviously will be available when we are back in person, but my email down below is the best way to reach me. Just a little about me, and I'm more than happy to go in further detail, but I've been teaching at Saguaro. This will be my 15th year. I've been teaching special education and teaching in general for 17 years. I've taught mainly high school. I did during my master's program an intense about 3-month session with middle school boys in a self-contained setting. I have a bachelor's in communications. I have a master's degree from Indiana University that I earned in 2004. And then I also have an ESL endorsement, cosmetology license, and 2 yoga certifications, which I still teach and use. I do not have any children, human children per se, but my fur baby is a rescue pup named Bodie Jax. And I've lived here in Arizona in the Scottsdale area for 15 years from Chicagoland. I'm an only child, very close to my mom, and she followed me out. So that has been fabulous to be close to her. The study strategies component of the class that you are, that your child is with me in is either periods 1 or 2. And obviously it looks a little different in person, but online we are going to be meeting all the same goals and needs for your child. So we do work on IEP goals, sometimes, for a few minutes every day as a group or individually based on the needs of the child. We are going to be for all children, and even if a child says, well, I don't have a goal in writing, we do different various mini lessons. I do in reading, writing, speaking, communicating, etc., as well as social, emotional, and lots of transition activities at the high school level, as well as math goals too. Moving forward, so for transition and post-secondary, we definitely give introductions and review important definitions of what transition even means. Obviously, it's going to look very different for a freshman versus a senior. I do informal transition interviews, which the counselors also do as well. We do all different types of career exploration, online, videos, individually, small group, etc. And we'll be doing, in the past, we did a career interest survey that was about 100 questions long. This year, my colleagues and I have found some other ones a little shorter that might hold the attention of your child a little more. And then we explore different post-secondary career options, job options, EVIT, community college, university, etc., depending on the interest and kind of level and needs of your child. Transition continued is usually around junior year, we start to talk about VOC Rehab, which is a state-run program that's federally and state funded, where there's a possible opportunity once you go on junior, senior year to have an interview with them that you could possibly get funding for post-secondary education and vocational training. And then senior year students are more than welcome, and hopefully we can do it this year to go on a SCC tour and then do the asset placement test with accommodations. Also part of study strategies is that this is not a study hall. It is an elective class, although students in the special ed program, it is mandatory for them to take every year. They do receive all kinds of assistance in their regular ed classes as well as on IEP goals. In all different ways. Like I said, it's small groups. They might be individually working. They might work one-on-one with me or with another student. Every day looks a little different, and it's nice because we have a small class and a flexible setting. So students are able to, most of the time, do some coursework, but I do want everybody to know that it's not a class where you can just do your homework every single day and be done. Sometimes they do get finished with things, and that's great. They get help from me if needed, etc., but not all the time. So it is important for them to also work on their coursework outside of the study strategies class. So moving forward, grades, and I can talk more in depth one-on-one. I don't want to go on too long, but students are expected to work the entire time, whether we're working virtually right now or when we're back in person. That does not mean I have nothing to do, so I'm gonna take a nap or play a video game. They will be given different activities to work on, even if it's reading a book or doing some journaling or working on some goal work, excuse me, that I need them to complete. So that's something that goes in as part of their grade. I know I've had students in the past say, well, how was I earning an A and now my grade has dropped to a B? And as you can see from the slide, and I will also post this on my Buzz page once that's all ready, set up and ready to go, so you can access this. But students need to be on time, virtually and in person. Their agenda needs to be filled out, and electronically when we're meeting virtually, that will be electronic. But I urge them to do it every day. It's something that is like a running record for them after they meet in their classes, when they're working on coursework, homework, that they can say, oh, in science I have this, in algebra tonight I don't have any work. If they wait and try to just cram it all in from memory on Friday to get points from me, that's not helpful to them or me, and they're bound to forget something. I always tell them, if it's easier to put in your phone notes and then type it out at the end of every night, that's fine too. But whatever works best for them to make sure that they're staying on top of, becoming a really positive self-advocate for themselves, because once they are 18 and once they're graduated, they'll no longer have a Miss Gomez or a parent to always speak up for them or make sure that they're getting everything done and not forgetting things. So they get points based on completing the daily activity that we do, the lesson, being on task, filling out agenda, and that's, every single day they have points that they're able to earn. And then also, as you can see at the end of the slide, they can possibly lose those points. So continuing grades, they need to keep notebooks, and this is flexible based on, what each teacher or class sees fit, but they do need to have some kind of binder or folder system for each class. And then in terms of organization, that's something we also work on. And they're required to complete an agenda for themselves mostly, but they will get scored on that. Once we're in class, back in person, I definitely have materials they're able to borrow and use, but and once in a while we all forget a pen or pencil or need paper. But if it becomes a reoccurring thing, that's where points get taken off. And then if you have any questions, most of all, because this year is so unique in the way we're all starting, right? There are going to be things that come up. Questions, uncertainty, maybe some fear, anxiety, nervousness, maybe excitement, or just the thought that, like, how is my child going to stay focused when they're home and they really just want to be in their pajamas? If you were joining us last quarter, at SUSD and Saguaro especially, things were a little bit more lax in the sense of I would have some students meet with me, they'd show me their face, and then they'd turn themselves off. Well, this is school-wide, district-wide. When students are meeting now, everyone needs to have their camera on, they need to be dressed and ready to go. We're all here and we're going to be flexible and make it work. Most importantly, I like to cultivate and create a mutual environment of respect, of some fun, of some laughter, and it's a unique environment because unlike being in a general ed class of 35 or so, we're in a small group where kids start to feel comfortable. Maybe they're not best friends, but they begin to feel comfortable in knowing that they will be supported, they won't be made fun of, and they can openly share, especially when we start to do different lessons. So that is my hope, is to support you, support your child in becoming the best human being they can in their adolescent years, but also to prepare them for the future. Making eye contact, communicating, taking earbuds out, saying please and thank you, knowing that they can come to myself or another teacher or counselor in a safe space where their voice is heard and what they think matters. Now, I do tell my students, just because you communicate with me that you don't like this policy of what I do doesn't mean it's going to be changed, but I like to hear their opinion because I'm human too, and maybe the way I'm doing things doesn't feel right for the whole class and there's a better way. So I love to build that relationship and respect to know, because a lot of times, hopefully, especially if your child is a freshman or sophomore, you know, they are on my caseload the entire 4 years of their school career. And so it's so fun to see them grow and mature and develop and really come into their own and get comfortable with me. Again, email is the best way to reach me, but once I've received your email, we'll figure out a time. A lot of times something is too hard to go back and forth in email. It's easier to talk on the phone. And again, I will be contacting all of you to schedule IEP meetings. Obviously, if that's still before we're in person, it will be in a meeting setting, you know, via phone, where the other team members will be included. So most of all, we all need to breathe, we need to be flexible, and we need to try to stay positive. I encourage your child to, even though they're at home doing virtual learning to start out, to still take little breaks, to get up and walk around, to make sure that they're hydrating, right? So all of that's important, and I just want to help them become the best person they can and be as successful as possible. So I look forward to meeting all of you, and here's to a fabulous start and just a positive, resilient school year. Take care.